Sao Paulo, UFC bantamweight Marlon Vera might be fighting John Lineker, but he hasn't forgotten about Jimmie Rivera. Vera admits he's still bothered by comments Rivera 211 MMA, 50 UFC made in turning him down at UFC on Fox 25, and he wants to fight the winner when the bantamweight prospect faces off with ex-champ Dominick Cruz 222 MMA, 51 UFC at UFC 219 in December. I feel I match up great with both, and one of them owes me one. Vera 1031 MMA, 42 UFC told MyJunkie in advance of his FS1 televised fight with Lineker 298 MMA, 103 UFC on Saturday at Ibirapuera Gymnasium in Sao Paulo, Brazil. I want to make him pay. Vera, who's unranked in the USA Today Sports MyJunkie MMA bantamweight rankings, has fought alongside number 5 Rivera in the bantamweight division since his octagon debut in 2014. But their paths briefly crossed in January, when Rivera's originally scheduled opponent, Bryan Caraway, dropped out of UFC on Fox 25. Vera volunteered to step up on short notice, only to see Rivera dismiss the matchup in favor of a bout with Thomas Almeida. Rivera said if he took the bout with Vera, he would be bullying some guy who wins some and loses some. He also said he didn't want to take away from the Ecuadorian fighter's GoFundMe drive to help treat his daughter's illness. Not surprisingly, that didn't sit well with Vera. He was talking too much, Vera said. He was saying things that don't make sense. If he says he's better than me, that doesn't offend me at all. But he pulled my daughter into it, and he said he was a bully when he was a kid. But with that size, I don't think he was a bully, I think he was the bullied one. I respect him as a person. As a fighter, I don't respect him at all, because he wasn't professional at all. Both Vera and Rivera won at UFC on Fox 25, keeping them on a future collision course. But Rivera is perhaps one step away from a title shot, while Vera must face a heavy-handed veteran who's ended many dreams. Vera, of course, vows he won't be distracted by the challenge in front of him. A loss to Lineker will nix any plans for a big fight. And if the winner of Rivera and Cruz is headed for a title shot, he might have to wait his turn. So he's keeping his options open. I really believe that if I win this fight, I want somebody between Rivera and Cruz, he said. I want one of those two. I've already talked to my manager about it. I feel that's the fight that makes sense for me. If the UFC wants to do anything else, I'm down. There's also a lot of bantamweight fights in December. I saw them, and I'm like, somebody's going to be hurt, and I'm going to be healthy. Vera practices his post-fight speeches as part of his training camp. It appears he'll have a few requests if he gets his hand raised on Saturday. Check out the above video to hear Vera talk about fighting in Sao Paulo and his plans for the future. And for more on UFC Fight Night 119, check out the UFC Rumors section of the site.